shop. But alright, we'll go ahead and get on with it. I always try to cock them 2 or 3 times. That takes the stress off, so the ejector will slide right down for the field strip part of this. Cross pin out. Separate the gun halves. We'll get that guide rod out of the way and the barrel out of the way. Okay, so what we've got now is a slide and a frame. We're going to go ahead and take our little block here. We're going to remove the striker and the magazine disconnect. Press the plunger. After we get the magazine disconnect, push it. Hear it click, it slides forward. We're going to push the safety plunger right here. It clicks and moves all the way forward. All the stress is off. Press the small plunger with your 16th punch. Keep your thumb over the end. There's your end cap. And you're going to push down on the magazine disconnect. Pull the striker out. Magazine disconnect out. This is an 1/8 inch punch. We're going to take and knock this pin out. So we are. That boy's in there. Pressure on the extractor. Keep your thumb over the plunger. So rock it forward, ease the plunger out, set that aside. There's your plunger and your plunger spring. This is effectively stripped. You can take the magazine, or the loaded chamber indicator out with a 16th punch, drive it left to right, whichever direction you want to. This will come right out. Careful, there is a spring back here. So when you pull it out, ease it up and the spring will come out with it. It's pretty small, so keep an eye on it. Set that aside. Take a look at the striker here. I'm just going to wipe some of this grease off. Looks like the striker is the same as the little plastic indicator. All that fun on it. If you look on these strikers, one side will be slightly recessed. This side's flush, this side's recessed. If you'll drive the pin out that way, it'll save you a little bit of effort. I have a nifty little fixture I use for these, but I'm going to try to do this the way you guys are probably going to struggle with it. If I haven't done it, get it moving. There, man. Okay, keep up with your little pin. Separate the body. Here's your spring, cup, and indicator. Okay. Now we're going to strip the frame. So you can see a little push out. Being new, it may not. Front pin, secondary pin. These are order specific. Try to keep them in order. If you have any doubts, I'll give you a little picture here. I don't know if you can see that, but the pin with the mark about 1/3 of the way down goes in the second pinhole. The one with it about 1/4 of the way down goes in the third pinhole from the front. And here's one of these little tricks I'm going to show you. If you take these things apart enough, you'll kind of figure this out. The rear pin, it has a flat on it. It's under pressure from this assembly, so if you'll take and sort of ease the ejector down and push, it'll pop right out just as you ease it down, okay? I like to take and just give it a little bit of prying. Trigger pop back there. Pull back on the wings of the safety selector, just ease it all up, walk it out. If you're installing one of the extended magazine releases that we sell, whether it's a D-shaped or the round, these are all the same. 16th inch punch, and you can just sort of push this pin out of the way. If if you'll reach down inside here and take the pressure on the magazine catch itself, you can just push this through, okay, and this will wiggle out. So here's what we're going to do. Alright, there's the pin. Now I'm not going to take it all the way out because it can be a pain, but what I'm going to do is ease this out, and you can see the shape. It's got a little white lithium on it from the factory. Ease it back in, drop this pin back in place, and do just a little bit of a love tap there. Okay. Now, this first thing I like to do with this is on your locking block, go ahead and get your hairspring out of the way. Take your punch and push the pin out right here on the locking block, and that will release your slide lock and your trigger from the locking block. Something to kind of keep in mind too, on these, the spring actually sits in the shoulder just forward. It doesn't loop up and underneath like you would probably think. It actually sits against this riser. Okay. On the back you have the trigger transfer bar. Going back, there's a trigger lift bar spring here. This is usually the thing that people kind of have issues with when they reassemble this fire control group, is it will hang out and get stuck inside the magazine well. So kind of keep that in mind. There's a plunger on this side, so I'm just going to kind of cup all this and point it down. There's the plunger. That's your safety plunger for the detent. It's actually the detent itself. Walk this forward slightly and unhook it. You see the trigger bar lift spring just pops right out. There's a trigger bar spring here. This is a factory unit. This assembly is as far as you're going to take it because these pins are staked. They only come out one way. They will come apart. Use a 16th inch, but you will really have to drive on them, and I've cracked them before taking them apart. Okay, fire control group. There's your trigger reset bar. This is the bar you would replace with a ghost bar like this. The best thing to do to get this trigger bar spring out is to just hook it and pop it loose. Okay, and this just pops off if you want to remove it for whatever reason. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a fully stripped SR9 or SR9C or SR40 or SR40C. This is how they all come apart. This is one of our kits we sell that comes with a polished indicator for the striker body, a polished safety plunger. I think it's a Smooth It Kit 3, I believe. So you can see the difference. It also includes the reduced power spring. So if you're reassembling this backwards, you would take your factory unit and just set it aside and put this unit back in its place. You would basically put these two, swap these two out. See the difference? Plain old plastic and aluminum, polished up, looks nice, works much better. The trigger bar springs, you see the difference in the size here. This guy's not quite got the spring rate of this unit. See how much heavier this is. If you go any heavier than this, the gun will not cycle correctly because it won't reset. This is max. Really pleased with this. These two springs work really, really well. But